Any vehicle should be able to make it here with no problem, and if you don't have a national park or Northwest Forest Pass, they have a fee box here. The forecast said another atmospheric river drenching was coming our way for the weekend, so we took Friday off and headed to the mountains to enjoy some sunshine. We don't usually get the opportunity of hiking on weekdays, so being one of the 2 vehicles in the lot with weather like this felt like quite a treat. The trail starts out weaving through ponderosa pine trees. It doesn't stay in the forest for long, so enjoy the cool shade while you can. Like many trees, these ones drop their lower branches as they grow, which saves energy but also helps them resist fire that could use the branches to burn their way up the tree. Their pine cones are also adapted to fire. Instead of dropping their seeds to compete with the plants below, the cones stay shut until the heat of the fire melts the resin, allowing them to pop open and find a home in the newly cleared earth. Some people say these trees smell like vanilla. I don't know about that, but we did catch the pleasant smell of evergreen a few times. The side trail to visit the waterfall is short but steep. If you want water but don't want to go down, you'll cross the same stream at the top. As the trees become sparser, you get more wildflowers. An even paintbrush adds a nice splash of red and orange, and is one of the more unusual. These plants look pretty innocent, but they are secretly parasites. They do produce a little energy by photosynthesis, but they also tap into the roots of other plants to get more nutrients. They rely on their host, so they don't usually kill them, but these plants aren't as healthy as they could be, especially under adverse conditions. The paintbrush can even sometimes absorb and circulate chemicals that the host plants give off to make themselves less attractive as food for plant eaters, making both plants resistant. You can find more about the plants and hiking resources in the links below. This trail seems to have the perfect balance of trees and views. Usually you get one or the other, but here it felt like you often got to have both. It is fairly exposed to the sun, especially in the burn zone, so you might want to consider going early or picking a relatively cool day. The trees never fully disappear though, until the very top. You dip in and out of sparse patches throughout the entire hike. Along with the trees in the burn sections come tree falls. There weren't any downed trees that were difficult to get around today, but there can be, and they are part of the adventure. As you climb, the views grow, and jagged, sometimes snow-capped peaks slowly pop above the green ridges. But this one certainly makes you work for it. This trail may be mostly pristine tread, but that tread is anything but flat. I like to think of it as 10 feet per flight of stairs, so this mountain is like climbing 390 flights of stairs. It is quite a workout, and it burns. Lake Wenatchee is stunning in the summer, but also hosts plenty of winter sports. Some parking areas are cleared as snow parks on the far end of the lake in the winter for activities like sledding, snowshoeing, and skiing, and there is a huge network of trails. We haven't made it out here to try any of them yet, but they are on our list. In many places, spring starts around March, but not in the mountains. This one actually melts out faster than most, and as you can see, on the last day of May, there's still a little snow hanging on. It was patchy, but sometimes knee-deep or more. As we made our final ascent, half a dozen bald eagles soared over the lake. This lake reminds me a bit of one in the Adirondacks that was part of a 90-mile canoe race, where my dad and I had once snag a fish out of the water right in front of us. Finally, the peak. Today it hosts a weather station for the Northwest Avalanche Center, and in the mid-1900s was the location of a fire lookout, which you can still see some remnants of. In 1975, they actually tried to airlift this lookout to replace the Alpine Ridge lookout on the other side of the lake. I couldn't find out exactly what went wrong, but they were unable to move the lookout, so instead, sadly, it was burnt. Do yourself a favor and don't sit on any of the wood, like I did. It is super splintery. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. There are hiking resources below and information on free ways to help support this channel. The easiest is liking and subscribing. Thank you. Happy exploring.